Motors, BP, Westpac, CUB, Ultratune, Rocker Brothers and Foodland. On AFL Live from the MCG, Richmond versus Adelaide.
And a very good afternoon, everyone, from the Melbourne Cricket Ground. And a rather wet and dreary day in Melbourne. Light rain has been falling since early this morning, but the ground condition is at the moment not too bad. Both the Tigers and the Crows coming off close wins last week. Richmond upsetting Melbourne by just one kick here at the MCG last Monday. And in arguably the most controversial finish to an AFL game this season, the 3-point win at Football Park last week by the Adelaide Crows over Fitzroy certainly has a lot of people talking in both states. And subsequent to that, both umpires who officiated in that game have been dropped from the senior panel this week. And as another aftermath to that particular game, the AFL Tribunal ousted 2 Richmond players. Smith was given a holiday by the Tribunal, and so also was Young, while the 2 players from the Crows, Hocking and Hart, who were up on abusive language charges, one was fined and the other one was cleared. So better news from the Tribunal for the Crows, certainly, than for the Tigers. Let's take a look at the ladder as it stands now before we go into this afternoon's matches. And Richmond currently down there with 16 points against their name, and Adelaide with 20 points, 1 game ahead. Very important game for both teams this afternoon. The Crows trying to win in Adelaide for the first time. Can they do it? A very good afternoon to Ian Robertson and Don Scott.
Yes, well, I think that Richmond could do it, Ian.
So do I agree with you. I think it'll be a good game, though.
Because there's a little bit of a stake here, because they can move up one notch if they win Richmond. And,
well, I read in the paper during the week that one of the Richmond players said that their club, in general, consider there a chance to make the final. So,
well, mathematically, Ian, they could do it.
Sure they can.
Statistically, it doesn't look good, because since round 5, they've won 1, lost 1, won 1, lost 1. They come up a win last week, so they could lose today. So there's a lot in it.
All right, well, let's take a look at the sides as they were selected on Thursday.
Well, Bannock, Turner and Lays. I watched Turner against the West Coast, and he was deplorable, but he played well last week against Hodges.
Very important player for Adelaide is John Klug at centre-half forward. I don't know whether Keys will line up at centre-half back, but that'll be a good contest.
Campbell, a youngster from Golden Square. Tony Free, a hard-hitting centre player. Matthew Knight's the best and fairest winner. Abernathy, interesting to see if he lines up there.
And one of Richmond's good players over the 10 or 12 games that they've played has been Brendan Gale. Good to see Stephen Ryan back into their team.
Lee, Hughes and Bickley. Lee, a very solid player. Hughes, a little slow now.
And some big, strong fellas in the first ruck there for Richmond and Adelaide. David Cloak up against Mark Micken.
And Naish Honeybun, I think Naish will go onto the ground. Brown, second game. And Matthew Liptak, he does his work up on the forward line.
Right, thanks, Scotty. Thanks, Robbo. As I mentioned, light rain has been falling in Melbourne since early this morning, and for the Mitsubishi Motors ground report, it's a very good afternoon on the boundary to Maxton.
Thanks very much, Peter, and I must tell you, last night in Adelaide it rained for about 4 hours solid, cats and dogs all the way, and I think that weather has come over to the MCG, as you said, light rain. We're currently on 13 degrees, our expected top 15, the wind a light to moderate south-southwesterly breeze, the forecast cold, cloudy, possible showers. Well, it's doing that right now. The ground condition, when you consider the rain Melbourne has had, it's okay.
Right, thank you, Max. And on a sad note for Tiger supporters, of course, Mark Lee today played his last game in the Richmond reserves, and he was given the honour of breaking the banner for the senior team. We'll take a break, and we'll be back for the first quarter, Richmond and the Crows, in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Eddie Hocking from the Adelaide Crows, and you're watching footy on Channel 7.
At VFL Park, the replay of last year's grand final in Hawthorn and Brisbane at Princes Park, and we'll have progress scores throughout the afternoon with a replay of the Essendon-Collingwood game immediately following this match. Let's take a check out on the teams out there, and I heard on the grapevine that Goodwin may be starting on the bench for Richmond, Don, so that means one possible change.
Well, we've spotted Goodwin, but we're just trying to pick up that player that's gone out of the Richmond side. I think the other one was Maxfield. We didn't see him in the reserves. He may have escaped because I got here at half time, and he may have gone off injured. So we'll just wait and see on how they actually do line up, Richmond, and try and spot the player who's out.
How about Brendan Gale? I think he was under a bit of a cloud during the week at training.
He's number 25, Brendan, a tall fellow at centre-half forward.
No, just kick. Yes, he's out there. Yep, he's there.
Yes, he's going down in the forward line.
Brian Lees might be. Anyway, your selections, Robbo?
Yeah, well, I think Richmond can win, Peter. It's a big day for them. They gave Mark Lee, you mentioned, a great round of applause playing his last game, and I'm sure that Kevin Bartlett would have mentioned that, and I think they've got enough incentive with 4 wins just behind the Adelaide Crows, and I think they can win a close game.
Hughes and Hocking going to the bench for Adelaide, and Don Scott, your selection?
Richmond, Peter. Only just, but I could be swayed the other way, because the last time I watched Adelaide here was against North Melbourne, and they had that game pinched from them.
Yeah, how come you're not tipping Adelaide? Someone told me you've got to go back over there again next Saturday or Sunday. I'd go for Adelaide if I were you.
Well, I'll go for Adelaide just to break it. I think it'll be a good game. The ground's not bad despite the rain. That's the good news. Richmond going to the left in the first quarter. Light rain falling as the siren goes. Not a bad crowd here at the MCG despite the inclement weather. David Cloak gets the first tap away. Certainly not very far. McGuinness gets collared by Waitman rather quickly. A race for the ball out towards the edge of the square, picked up by Filkey, but the umpire has decided it's going to be a free kick, and it's going Richmond's way for a high tackle, and the free kick to be taken for the Tigers by Nichols. Picked up by Gale into the square, marking contest, and there's a free kick. It's going to be taken by Honeybun. He's had a lot of back problems recently. Played the last few games, I'm told, well in the twos, and back into the seniors today. Here it is in replay.
Just watch this. Honeybun in front. Was he edged out of a very, very
pretty soft
technical,
nothing in that
decision.
Totally agree with you.
So David Honeybun, consensus is with a rather soft free kick. Chance for the first score of the game, and it's a goal. So the Tigers off to a good start. 1 goal for 6 points. Adelaide yet to score.
Well, David Honeybun made his mark at Richmond when he did actually make his debut as a forward pocket. He played a couple of games, came with a huge reputation from the amateurs to Carlton, and really just could not establish himself. Then went walkabout Tassie. I was with North Melbourne there for a little while, and they've made a change already. Abernathy off and Hughes going back onto Honeybun. Back into the centre, 6 points the difference.
Obviously a bit of a height problem there for the Adelaide Crows. Filkey kicks it quickly, half forward. Attempted kick off the ground by Michael Pickering. In there for Adelaide was Jamison, or overrunning it Lindner. Now a chance for Richmond to get clear. It's young Bannock, and it could have been a push in the back. No, and the umpire will throw it in between wing and half forward. It's about 80 to 85 metres around from the Crows' goal. Nicken and Cloak, what a battle that'll be between two Trojans. Both great players for their respective teams. McDermott to McGuinness. McGuinness' kick is smothered. Attempted tap on. Kick now by Free. Goes in towards the centre. Knights. Good pressure by Jarman. Ball kicked wider still. Chance for Marshall. Good play by Marshall. Kick off the ground. Gathers about 35 to 40 metres. Lip tack. Could have been nearly in the back. And that's the way the umpire sees it. And Lip tack will take the free kick for the Crows right on the 50-metre line. Matthew Liptak in towards the front of the square. Big punch by Cloak. Oh, Ryan can't control the football. Pickering to Waitman. Waitman, good spotting. Hand passes okay to Knights. Knights' kick is pretty good as well. Oh.
And Ryan's down behind play. Ryan is down behind play and hasn't moved.
Nichols is in trouble on the centre wing.
Nichols.
Filkey kicks the ball to centre half forward. Cloak. Some good tough contests here early in the game. Bannock receives from Waitman. Bannock's kicked to half forward. 1-on-1 back there. Lee. Maynard helps him out. Little left foot kick by Maynard's not bad. Micken and Lee combined. Lee's kick towards centre half forward. No mark taken. There won't be too many overheads. Slippery condition. Marshall tries to tap it on. A free kick's been picked out of it. It's going to Richmond to be taken at half-back by Tony Free.
Stephen Ryan's up and he's on his feet. It looks a little groggy, though, just the same.
Yes, it was quite a heavy shepherd. It didn't happen behind play. It happened in play. Free's kick up towards the centre wing position. Chance for the Crows to go forward. The ball booted up by Bickley. And that's out of bounds. And it's going to be a Tiger free kick just up from the right half-back flank. This rain's still falling. In fact, it's getting a little bit heavier now. Free again. Kick to centre wing. And then good mark taken by Micken. What was he called? A Trojan or a workhorse? I think that's probably a pretty apt description. Kick by McDermott. Gets plenty of distance with it. Cloak. I think he'll be content to see the ball safely over the boundary line and still kept in play. Free will be quite happy that it now has crossed the line, and the throw-in will take place about 20 metres from the scoring area. Cloak and Klug. Over the top, Jamison. Nobody able to get a clean possession down there.
And Key's going to come on for Richmond, and Justin Pickering going off. So a quick change, an early change by Richmond.
He'll go to the bench and out of the rain. Umpire indicating he's going to throw the ball in the air. Pretty sticky down there. Cloak and Klug again. Cloak went for the big fist away.
Now Bickley's gone off and Abernathy's gone on to Keys.
Powell. Knights almost got into the back of his opponent. Had to go over the top. McDermott got taken high and he'll take the free kick. So McDermott at left half forward. Kick number 2 for him. The Adelaide skipper. And that's out of bounds again. Have to wait on the boundary umpire. I think it was on the full. But it might be a throw-in. Very close to the line. Last night at the Wacker we saw the West Coast Eagles handle slippery conditions very, very well. Another test this afternoon for Richmond and the Crows.
Micken in front. Cloak gets the punch. Kick goes in towards half forward from Brown, and it's been marked by Filkey. And Filkey has it 50 metres from goal for the Crows.
Should score.
Well, it's a pity he's got the chance to kick the second goal, because I had him in a contest over lunch to kick the first goal. Close to the line. It's very close. Touched right on the line by Steve Kerner. And it's through for a behind to the Adelaide Crows. Grant Filkey playing half forward or centre wing for the Adelaide Crows. The kick in from Turner goes to half back. Lindner can't mark. Picked up for Richmond there by Campbell. Kick towards a vacant area out there on centre wing. Running for it Keys. And it's eventually taken over. Boundary throw-in will take place just forward of centre wing in the Richmond attacking half.
Why didn't Klug just stay on his feet on that situation?
Micken, Gale doing the ruck work for Richmond. Campbell goes back to Waitman. Campbell off the ground. Not really much that the players can do there. Well, we were watching the reserves, Pete, earlier, and the conditions here at the MCG were fantastic considering the rain that had fallen during the week. And all of a sudden, when the seniors started, the rain came down, and now it's made it a little difficult for the players.
A little slippery. Ball booted back to the centre wing position. Cloak stands his ground, takes the mark.
And that's where he will do all his work across half-back, David Cloak.
It's a good mark. Taken by Gale. And he also, from the umpire, gets a call to play on. Tries to find Lambert and or Keys. Keys was the one that spilt the mark. Lambert tries for the hand pass. Marshall tried to put in the block. Lambert again. And finally picked up by Lee, who wobbles the kick back towards David Cloak again. Playing that kick behind the play and doing it effectively. Abernathy should go to score, but he can't. Keys takes the mark.
There's a good mark.
Keys right on the boundary line. And Hogg reads out. Didn't take the mark. Went pretty close to it. This is Naish. Centering kick. And the two number 25s clash. And the mark taken for Adelaide by Micken. Over to McDermott. Having plenty of territory. And there he is again. David Cloak, mark and or free kick, whatever. Gets away from ground. Decides to play on. No one standing the mark. So poor marking by the Crows. Kicks up towards full forward. Honeybun couldn't take the mark. He kicked the first goal. That's to my annoyance as well, Ian, I might also add. McDermott. Well, I had McGuinness. I thought he was a pretty fair chance. Didn't turn out that way. Ryan seems to have recovered from that heavy knock that he got and gets the hand pass away. It's taken for Richmond by Tony Free. Kicks to the edge of the centre square. Marking contest, none played. Wakeman back into the side after the flu last week. Gets grabbed, not in possession, but that could be a trip to Adelaide. And Richmond's supporters not too happy with that. And the free kick will be taken by Hart.
Centre half back for the Adelaide Crows. He transfers play to the outer side. Mark taken by Filkey, plays on, brings it back in towards the centre, and a good mark of the wet ball taken there by Maynard. He goes back to Filkey. Filkey's kick to a half-forward flank position, marked by Bannock. Bannock plays on quickly. Left foot kick is to the advantage of Keys. A little too far out in front of that player. And in the finish, he allows it to just roll over and we'll have a boundary throw in. Terry Keys, of course, transferring from Collingwood over the summer months to Richmond and doing pretty well with his new club. Kick off the ground by Jarman in towards the centre. Great gather by Powell, who played a magnificent game for New South Wales last year in Sydney in a state of origin. And the pass was a beauty. The mark was taken by Hogg. Danny Hughes.
Could be in a little bit of
Honeybun,
trouble. Could be in a little bit of trouble, Danny Hughes, if the fast lead is on, as it was on that occasion.
Well, Honeybun has kicked the only goal of the match. A rather dubious free kick given in the first minute and a half. Kicked by Honeybun is his second and Richmond's second.
So 11 points the difference in favour of Richmond. This is Linda having a shot at goal, and it might be the Crows first, and the goal umpire says yes sir. Bruce Linda's first, and a welcome one for Adelaide after the Tigers have booted the first two. 5 points the difference.
Well, the ironical cheers coming from the Richmond supporters.
Good combination there. Klug, who got it to Linda for the goal. Adelaide, of course, yet to chalk up a win in Melbourne.
Gee, they've got some supporters here, Peter, by the look of that.
They have, yes. That's good to see. And in good voice. Making themselves heard. 5 points the difference. Bruce Linda kicking the first goal for the Crows. Cloak again. Naish. Beautifully done by the veteran Ruttman. Kicks up the half forward. Gee, was that a mark to Knights? Umpire says so. I thought it might have just touched the ground. A bump ball, but no sir. Knights from outside 50. Intended for Honeybun, who's already kicked 2 goals. And landed a little bit awkwardly there, Honeybun, but he's okay. So boundary throw in. Close to the forward pocket for the Tigers. It's going to be Hughes and Honeybun. He was actually starting on the bench, but he wasn't there very long. McDermott almost collared. McGuinness does the tidying up work close to the boundary line. Good long kick too by the former Footscray player. That's a fine mark taken by Klug under these conditions, but the kick was a shocker. Marshall playing in front, which is where you have to play today. Kicks it off the ground. Bannock offloaded. Good hip and shoulder. Cloak, well, he's in everything so far, the veteran. And gets the Tigers clear. Well, kicked by Campbell up towards the centre wing position. Nichols over to Lambert. A promising forward move, and that's a great mark taken by Hogg.
Very impressive, very impressive. Starting with Cloak on that half-back line, they really did run the ball well in Richmond. Combination of hand passing, and then a great kick from Lambert, spotting Hogg. I thought that his full-back might get there, but he just couldn't quite knock it out of the hands of Hogg.
For his first, Jeff Hogg, 40 metres out. Crowd seems to like it, and so does Hogg. It's a goal.
And very quickly, Adelaide go into attack. The quick kick coming from Liptak was a poor one in the finish, and Bannock is going to be penalised for pushing Lindner in the back.
Stupid free kick.
And this is going to give Bruce Lindner the chance to kick his second goal.
No doubt about it at all.
Oh, dear.
Lindner was doing that last week, if you remember.
But that was blatant, wasn't it? Very ordinary from a young player. Well, Lindner's angle is difficult, and he hits the post. Now, not a bad kick by Bruce Lindner.
Good effort, good effort.
3 goals to 1-2. And the full-back for the Richmond side, Steve Turner, kicks it back into play, nearly straight up the ground. No one home there for Richmond. Marshall, Klug, Jarman. Oh, he's run down. A little slow there, Andrew Jarman. Kicked by Marshall across his body. Centre half forward for the Crows. Gathered by Jamieson. Now a chance for Brown. Gets the handball wide. A real struggle about 30 metres out from the Crows' goal. Jamieson still in there. And 4 or 5 players. McGuinness underneath it. In goes Brown. And the umpire calls for a bounce. Only 30 metres from the Crows' goal. They trail 1-2 to Richmond 3 straight. Honeybun has kicked 2 goals for the Tigers. Ball comes wide. Overrun by Lindner. Kicked by Campbell. Oh, here's a goal to Hodges. Running into an open goal. He couldn't miss from there, could he? No.
Adelaide's second goal, the first by Lindner, the second by Hodges, and for Richmond it's 2 to Honeybun and 1 to Hogg, and that translates to a difference of 4 points. The Tigers in front. Coach's box almost fogging up over there this afternoon as Graham Corn looks on interestedly. He'll be pleased with those 2 goals. Out of the centre, Jarman. Ball spills free after that tackle. And socket out towards the centre wing position. It's out of bounds. In front of Filkey and also Trent Nichols. Right on the centre wing position, next to the interchange area. It's going to be Cloak and Micken. Micken's game this year seems to have gone up a notch or 2 since he transferred from the Brisbane Bears. He wins that one. And that is a high tackle, one would have thought. The umpire says play on. Tiger supporters were looking for a free kick. The ball built up by Underwood. And Knights.
Very casual mark. He seemed to just be running in the flight of the ball. It dropped in his arms.
He's a very casual player, Matthew Knights, isn't he?
A very good player. Too far out to score. Kicks into the pocket. In fact, it could almost be out of bounds on the full. Danny Hughes will take the free kick.
The poor kick by Knights. He should have centred the ball to give the forwards a chance to kick a goal. It was a bad one in the finish.
It was a no percentage kick, that one. Centering kick by Hughes. Fine mark to Jarman over the top of Micken. Good hip and shoulder by Cloak. Put Liptak out of business.
Well, Cloak didn't want to go, and either did Bickley or Liptak. They both stood and looked at one another. What's this? And then he got pushed in.
So a bounce will take place on the edge of the square. Well, in fact, he's going to throw the ball up in the air. Gale wins it. Down to free. Jarman. Marshall in front of Campbell. And the ball scoots to the other side. Ryan. Ryan had a fresh air shot. I can relate to that. Underwood. He gets the hand pass back to him. And Ryan from right centre wing puts the Tigers into attack. A high kick. Keys almost. McGuinness. McDermott, and that's out of bounds on the slippery turf. Boundary throw in about 65 metres from the Richmond goal.
Pretty good mates, Chris McDermott and Tony McGuinness, and both players doing well for the Crows in season 91. There's Marshall's tackle on Knights, pretty good. Ryan in there for Richmond, feeds it through Liptak's legs. Liptak eventually off the ground. Ball going towards the corner of the square, about 55 to 60 metres from the Crows goal. Michael Pickering, just a little indiscreet, the tackle on the Richmond player, and he'll get the free kick. He gives the hand pass away. It's Tim Powell, has a chance to have a look further afield. Kick is high, beats all players, goes to the back. Maynard's the first to recover. Oh, he threw it out, certainly. And the umpire in a great position to see that. The free kick will go to Richmond, to be taken by their big centre-half forward, Brendan Gale. Gale's kick, again into the pocket. Richmond insistent there when the good side seem to be able to transfer play across to a position in front of the goals where obviously the kicks are a little easier. Boundary throw in, 35 to 40 metres from the Richmond goal. Tap out comes to McDermott. McDermott's kick across his body will be marked by Gale. Richmond doing pretty well in the early part of the game here. Nichols takes the hand pass, kicks to full forward, mark to Knights. I think that's an indication of how casual this man is. He throws the ball back, fixes the boots, never really seems to get out of first gear, Matthew Knights, but always comes up with some fantastic personal statistics.
It's not an object lesson there for a young footballer walking with your back to the goal.
No, that's a good point, Don.
Anyway, he's a star, this fellow.
30 metres from goal, directly in front. Left foot kick. Fades away to the left. And missed probably what he should have kicked. Matthew Knights has kicked just one behind. And that's Richmond's one behind. 3-1 plays 2-2.
5 points the difference. Danny Hughes kicks in. And kicks in well. Straight down the middle of the ground at the back as Cloak couldn't take the mark. Powell. Clean possession. And they're hard to get today. Keys. Abernathy slips over. Oh, a good mark. Gutsy mark taken down there by Hart. He'll have a band-aid across his mouth today. When he's near the umpires, he will anyway. The abusive language charge during the week at the tribunal. Cloak, the mark almost. The umpire says no, you have to hold it. Jarman, almost a hand pass, but couldn't get rid of it. Finally, it's Micken. Micken's kick up towards left half forward. Overrunning it was Turner. Good hip and shoulder by Ryan. Put Hodges out of business. In the meantime, the ball is out of bounds.
Good play by Turner.
50 metres from the Adelaide Crows goal. We have the throw in. Klug. Oh, it's that ball in over there. And out of bounds in front of Bickley. Whatever you'd like to call it, it's pretty slippery down there at the moment with this persistent rain. Not too heavy. I don't think the players are enjoying it. Klug and Cloak. Cloak wins, trying to get it to Lambert, who's been fairly quiet so far. And the umpire says a trip. It's going to be a Richmond free kick, and it'll be taken by young Anthony Bannock at the right half-back flank. Good kick to centre wing. Marking contest. Micken comes down with it. Jarman to McDermott. And McDermott's short kick, and the mark is taken by Free.
Done well. Chris McDermott has had 6 kicks already in the game. Tony Free at half-back. Playing in the centre on Andrew Jarman. He's had a few touches too. That's his 6th kick. Out towards centre wing, Marshall. Up towards half forward. A winnable ball. It's kicked back towards the wing, and a good mark. Has that been paid? It has to Campbell. No 50 metres, no. You thought it should have been penalised, Don?
Well, he was handled. He pulled down after the ball had gone.
Campbell's kicked now to centre wing. In front, Gale. Jarman at the back. Handball, maybe a little lackadaisical, but Jarman goes in to try and repair the damage. Waitman. Now a chance for Underwood. Kick towards full forward. Hogg and Smart. Ball goes to the back. Helping out is Filkey. His kick under pressure goes over on the full. And the free kick will be taken for Richmond by Naish.
And Scott Lee coming on for Adelaide. And David Brown going off.
Now Naish may be too far out to score. He's on a difficult angle.
Can kick a few, Robbo.
Does all his work up on the forward line.
Kick is not too bad. Front of the square, helped through by the Adelaide defenders for a rush behind to Richmond. So Richmond 3-2 lead Adelaide by 1 goal with 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
Interesting to see Scott Hodges right up in the Adelaide back line, being followed up by Scott Turner.
Keys takes the mark from the Danny Hughes kick in. He's gone actually away from goal by quite a few metres. Knights. Powell inside the square. Oh, kicks into the man on the mark. That was bad play. Golden opportunity there. Jamison goes down. Tried to get the ball out the back. Hart got pushed in the back. Opportunity for Bickley. He slaps the ball out in front. Almost thrown out for Filkey. Could possibly go off the ground. Filkey decides to dive on it. Naish almost pins him. It could have been costly. Ball very hard to pick up. Finally it's Hart around Underwood. Well, in fact, almost around Underwood. Now Jarman's down. Adelaide will get clear. Ball by Bickley. Ryan. A better hand pass. Maybe we can make something of this. Ball kicked out towards the centre wing. Too far. And it will be thrown in.
Bad kick by Tony Free. The idea was right. He had Nichols by himself.
Yeah.
But
it's very hard to control at the moment. Donald knocked down to Waitman by Cloak. He's playing well. McDermott. Turner in front, couldn't take the mark, was almost edged out of it. The umpire says no free kick. This is in front of Hodges. Oh, bad hand pass.
Ryan couldn't pick it up. Socked away by Campbell. Waitman. Underwood. Away he goes. Back it comes to Campbell. Campbell from inside the square. Oh, is that interference against by Smart to Hogg? Umpire says no, throw it in. Don, was that a free kick?
Well, I think the Smart was making a legitimate attempt to go for the ball on that occasion. Hogg dropped, and consequently Smart went over the top of him. Okay. That's the way I think the umpire saw it.
It must have been, because it was all over in Langer Rash.
Richmond fans aren't happy with the decision.
You can say that again. Maybe they can still make something of this forward thrust. Here's a chance for Powell to have a snapshot at goal. I don't think it's coming around enough. And the goal umpire agrees, only one behind. And so the Tigers take their score along to 3-3. Adelaide 2-2 with just over 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. It's an interesting decision, that one. And that no doubt will have the crowd on its toes for a while.
Kick in by Lee, goes straight up the ground. Centre half back. Good mark, Micken. Mentioned his name in one hit there. Kick to centre wing. Looking for Maynard. Equally as good a mark. Kick quickly. Slews off the side of his boot a little bit. Gives the Richmond player the chance to get between his opponent and the ball. The opponent was Hodges. Collected by Jamieson. Can he do it again? Wonderful kick by Jamieson. Beautiful goal, Adelaide. So 2.5 minutes left in the quarter. Richmond lead by a point. Crows will go into attack again through Hart. To half forward, mark taken by Lindner. Very, very steady rain falling now at the MCG. Lindner's kick, centre half forward. Cloak can't mark. Kicked away by Waitman. Out towards the half-back flank position. Kick off the ground there by Bannock. Going after it is Filkey. A little too severe with Bannock. And I would have thought fair enough. A free kick to be taken for Adelaide by Grant Filkey. Coming up for his 7th kick. Centre half forward. Difficult ball to mark. Jamieson tries to handball out. Picked off by Powell. Left foot kick by that player. Goes over on the full. And the free kick to be taken there at half forward for Adelaide by John Klug. And you can see there, trying to move it on quickly. Slipped as he went to kick the ball in towards half forward. No mark, but that's a free kick surely to free. No, not paid. Still the Tigers may get out. It's Stephen Ryan, recruit of the year last year. Kicks it towards centre wing. Great mark taken by Gale, the ex-Tasmanian, and he'd like these conditions. The kick is not too good, but Knights is able to collect the football. He's still on the left. What's he going to do? He'll be penalised for holding the ball. Then the kick under pressure is ordinary. Maynard tries to get it to Micken. Some very, very ordinary play here in the last 30 seconds. Maynard goes after it again. Jarman, gee, that was slick right in front of the umpire. Handball is paid. Hart, kick towards half forward. At the back, Hodges falls over. Taps it out. In goes free. Kick off the ground. Goes across half back. Another kick off the ground. Fortunate for Richmond. Finishes with Knights. He goes to Lambert. Lambert's kick. Short. Good mark taken by Powell. A slick handball. Nichols kick in towards full forward. Oh, Hogg did the good work. Got rid of Smart. Then dropped the mark. Smart goes after it again. Richmond through Gale. Go to Naish. Naish over the top. Keys. Punched away back there by Bickley. Eventually Abernathy kicks it back, and the mark is taken by Micken.
Well, had a golden opportunity there, Richmond, and finally Jamieson kicks up towards right half forward. Cloak, a big punch away. Chance for McGuinness, almost caught with the ball. The umpire says play on. The Tigers do just that. Nichols had it and then lost it. Slaps the ball out in front of him. Only can see Micken there again. Playing a good game, Micken. Good duel between him and Cloak. And now Cloak has a chance, slaps the ball through his legs. There goes the siren as Marshall applies the tackle. And at quarter time, only 1 point the difference. So the game moving up a notch in the last 10 or so minutes. 3-3 the Tigers at quarter time. Adelaide 3-2. But in Collingwood, the replay of last year's grand final, and the runners-up leading by 2 points at the first change. 2 goals 4 to the Magpies, 2 goals 2, and the other game is at Princes Park, Hawthorn and Brisbane, and Hawthorn leading the Brisbane Bears 3-4 to 2-4 by just 1 goal. On the boundary line, Nick Stevens, did you hear what the coaches had to say?
Thanks, Peter. I'll tell you what, I've left the umbrella back in Adelaide because the rain here, I reckon it's settled in. Now, Graham Corns has told his players to continue to use that southern side of the ground where the redevelopment is here at the MCG. A little critical of his defenders. He wants them to lift their work rate. Now, Kevin Bartlett, keep concentrating on kicking. Don't worry about the handball and keep applying the pressure in this second term.
Right, thank you, Max. Sorry about the rain.
It's very difficult in these conditions, Peter, for coaches to be productive or ask their players to be productive. It's extremely difficult.
Don, the statistics to quarter time.
There was really nothing much in them except that the breaks have gone from the centre in favour of Adelaide, in favour of 3, but everything else reasonably even.
How much luck is involved in these conditions?
A lot of luck. A lot of luck. Maybe not so much today, but certainly last week out at the Western Oval and also in Adelaide last week. There is luck because the guy running second on those particular days was being rewarded. Not so much here at the moment, maybe a little later when the rain starts. Really coming down.
Second quarter at the MCG, Richmond leading by only 1 point after a pretty even first quarter, as the scores would suggest. Knocked down by Gale. Chance for Lambert to pick the ball up. Can't do so, and the umpire has found a free kick. Wakeman from midfield. The Flea kicks inside 50. A chance for the Tigers to increase their score. Hughes kicks well off the ground. Out to space on centre wing. Marshall went for the soccer kick. Not successful. Campbell attack forward. Off the ground from Micken, who took 4 marks in the first quarter. Played an excellent first term in a good battle with David Cloak. And finally the Tigers through Free, who's doing well. Kicks off the ground, but taken by Lee. Kicks the ball back where it came from. The ground becoming very slippery. McDermott thought it was Adelaide's best player in the first quarter. Crowd looking for a throw. I thought it was okay myself. He gets the hand pass back again from Linda. Kicks into the square. Gee, that was very nearly a mark taken down there. The umpire says play on though. Chance for Jamison. Good smother. Linda again. Ball slapped at the front of the pack. There's a chance for Jarman, who has a snapshot. And that, I think, has levelled the scores. It has. 1 behind, and so 3-3 early in the second quarter.
Peter, it was mentioned last Sunday, I think, on Sports World Football Panel Show, that we've got something now that's classified as the crow throw. I wonder whether we can get a little microscope on a few of those suspect hand passes.
Oh, I don't think they're the only side to do that, Robbo. The flick pass has been creeping back. Outlawed in the 1960s when it was instigated and or invented by Ted Whitten. And we've got a 50-metre penalty here going to Adelaide.
Actually may be perfected by Ted Whitten, but it started at Fitzroy, actually, that flick pass.
So Grant Filkey, a real chance to put the Crows ahead. Would he be just too far out to score, Don?
I think so, although that would be a dry ball. I suppose they passed today as an adverse weather condition day, so they'd have a new ball, but he's gone short to Hart.
Now Hart marking now just inside 50.
And Daryl Hart, who likes to kick a goal, will have to kick the ball about 45, nearly 50 metres to get over the heads of the players in the goal square. He gets underneath it a little bit, kicks it to the square. No mark taken. Chance for Hodges. Pushed away by Cloak. Campbell to Wakeman. And Wakeman sizes up the situation. And a good pass in the finish to Stephen Ryan. Sweeping hand pass. Back to Ryan was very ordinary. Now a chance for Wakeman. Kicking towards full forward. And a good mark taken for Adelaide by Scott Hodges.
This is good kick. Was that kick from Jarman? Just got out of screen the player that kicked the ball, but it was a great kick to Hodges. Had to wait for it.
Hodges has kicked one. 150 goals in a season, this player, over in South Australia. And this is a very ordinary kick in the finish, marked by Cloak. Handball Wakeman, he's gone. Good tackle, Jamison. Cloak goes back, good running Free. And from half back, Tony Free kicks it out towards the wing. And an excellent mark in wet weather taken by Andrew Jarman, just forward of the wing. Tries to get the torpedo punt working up to full forward, mark taken by Cloak. And he's playing a pretty good game. The Rock of Gibraltar across half-back. Handball to Powell. That hand pass, ordinary. Pickering's equally as ordinary. Attempted kick off the ground by Turner. Ooh. In comes Michael Pickering. Kick is smothered by Jamison. Jamison now on centre wing. able to get his right foot to the ball and kick it into the pocket. Too far. And it's out on the full just in front of Scott Hodges. Free kick to Richmond.
Now, years ago, what happened on that occasion, Scott Hodges had his hands kicked. He was just putting on. It used to be called kicking in danger.
Yes,
Where's that rule gone?
Well, I think it's still in the books, Don. It's called unduly rough play nowadays, but they don't seem to play it as much, do they? Jarman, from a standing start, kicks to a big pack of players. That will be a free kick for a high tackle. It's going to be Powell's.
Doing well, Powell.
From left half-back flank. Jarman in the road. So is he, Don. Jarman on right centre wing. McDermott. Have to be quick. And is. Knocked away by Turner. Jamison's hand pass, not as good as it could have been. Ryan tries to keep the ball or get the ball back to a teammate. Hodges, not quick enough. Good tackle applied by Dale Waitman. And Waitman's still making the play. Gets cannoned into. One would think should get a free kick and does.
Not too good. Copped the knee. Dale Waitman from Hodges.
I'll go in the memory bank, I think.
We watch this. Down there goes the knee. Bang.
Free in the meantime. Takes the mark from the pass by Waitman. And goes straight down the ground with the kick. Bickley's spoil. Knocked on by Underwood. Knights at the ball. Bounces kindly for him. He taps it though to an opponent. Campbell. Good hand pass. And the kick by Pickering. That's Justin Pickering is going goalwards and just drifts away to the far side for one behind. It does nevertheless put Richmond in front by that margin. 3-4 to 3-3. And Danny Hughes will kick in.
Just 1 point scored by both sides in this second term so far. Gale. Waitman. Now Cloak in the centre of the ground. Pass is okay. Finds Campbell. Short pass. A little too short. Gathered by Hobbs. Not bad. In there is Lee. Also Bickley. Smart. Still has the football. Hogg now taps it inside 50. Jarman between his legs. We'll have a boundary throw in just inside the 50-metre line. Andrew Jarman for Adelaide doing a very good job for his team so far. He's had 9 kicks and 6 hand passes. Marshall in there. Now striving hard for Richmond is Campbell. That can't control the football. So we'll have another boundary throw in. 3-4 to 3-3. And the ground in pretty good condition, but very, very slippery. Honeybun tries to get it to Waitman. Kick off the ground. Knights is advantaged. Hits the handball back. Cloak is caught. In goes Waitman, diving on it. Flips it on with the left. Knights. Beaten for it by Lee. Kick off the ground, Jarman. Now the race is on. Powell. Leads Klug. Gets the handball away. Ryan still looks as though he's hampered by the back injury. Filkey. Sweeping hand pass. McDermott tries to get it out there towards Hart. Kick off the ground goes now out wide to the wing. Powell. Jarman, but Powell knocks it on. It's now at half forward for Richmond. Filkey. Justin Pickering. Ball goes over. Boundary throw in. Left half forward for the Tigers. And it's about 2.5 kicks from their goal.
Goals are going to be like diamonds today, aren't they?
My word. They got one fairly easy one. Richmond through David Honeybun, a free kick in the first 2 minutes, but they've been hard to come by since then.
Ball out of bounds again. And as per Graham Corn's instructions, the Adelaide Crows playing most on the outer side. Hard to see what advantage there would be on either side. Actually, I would have thought the member stand would be more protected. Lee's kick is a high one. And that's out of bounds on the full. And into the stand.
I think in these conditions, just straight up and down the centre of the ground.
Now they have employees of John Holland over there who fox the balls. I'm told they get paid a reasonable amount of money for working at the footy, as it were. Here's one coming back. The coach is fogging up even more. Anyway, it's back with Clokey. Just down from centre wing, David Cloak. Who would know this ground like the back of his hand. Marking contest. McDermott. Knocked away by Ryan from Klug. Klug recovers quick. Nichols tapped back to Underwood. Tries to get it to Lambert. Well tackled by Lee. The ball picked up by Hart. Getting back towards the half-forward line. Now a chance for Klug again. Long hand pass to Jarman, who seems to be revelling in these conditions. Jarman short pass out in front of goal. Hodges, you have to prop. Has it kicked away from him again. I don't think he'd be too happy with that. Turner doing well and showing a good turn of speed. Here's Turner. Kicks a good 55 metres into space on centre wing. And the ball will just prop inside. It's half out. Knight grabs it. Now he is in. And throws the boundary umpire just about.
Good effort by Turner. Hodges should have put his body more over the ball. Should have allowed Turner through.
Boundary throw in. Ryan at the back. Tap down to Knight. It was Gale actually that did the ruck work and did it well. This is Naish. Naish's kick to Nichols. Having a pretty good season. Played interstate down in Tasmania. Hogg has to get round one. Has to get round two. Gets onto the right foot ultimately. And shoots at goal, but all to no avail. As the mark is taken down there on the last line of defence. It was Abernathy under Maynard. And the Crows get clear. Mark taken by Micken. At the Jarman again. A juggle. As I said before, Jarman revelling in these conditions, but Ryan beats Klug to it. Turner, oh, he's kicked it out of bounds on the full, and the free kick will go to Klug or Hodges. Klug right on 50, gets it moving pretty quickly. Oh, getting up pretty high was Jamison, couldn't complete the mark, and so the ball spills free. Marshall will have to double back to pick it up. Down goes Hocking. Lindner, centering kick. Micken almost. Couldn't quite take it. Two Richmond players are there. Jamison trying to get into the open space. Knocked away by McDermott or kicked away. And Klug takes the mark. And Robbo, it barely travelled the required distance.
Well, they were a bit fortunate. I mentioned earlier about how much luck is involved in footy. And a kick off the ground. It came where in the finish from McDermott. I think it went the distance, Pete. But the player there in front of his opponent and takes the mark. And a goal could result out of that.
The important thing there was the fact that he was in front. Very, very important.
So Klug with a chance to put a valuable goal on the board for the Crows. He should get the distance from there. 35 out directly in front. You have to wait on the goal umpire. It's a goal.
And Adelaide are in front for the first time in the match. Hocking, sweeping hand pass, Lee. Nifty little kick, finds Marshall. Marshall's kick across his body is not bad with his unnatural left foot. Punched away by the Richmond defence. Hocking perhaps could have gone a fraction harder. Bickley kicks it across his body. Centre half forward, Jarman. And held by the leg was Andrew Jarman, and he'll take the free kick.
Is Tony Free playing on Jarman? If he is, he's got to tighten up.
I don't think he is, actually. I had another look at that, and I think he's playing half back. Jarman has now had 13 kicks, supported by 6 hand passes.
It looks like Underwood's going across now to pick up Jarman. I thought that Lambert might have started on him, but Lambert's now got McGuinness.
Micken from centre half forward. Kicks a little too close. It's touched. Nearly taken away back there by Richmond. Picked by Lindner. Kick by Lindner is close to the line, and it goes over for a behind. So Bruce Lindner has a personal tally of 1-2 from 5 kicks. And Turner will kick it in. Comes to this near side. The mark is taken by Stephen Ryan. Ryan takes a bit of a risk. Mark taken by Underwood in front of Jarman. And I think Underwood is playing in the centre on Andrew Jarman, so he will have to do a little bit better because Jarman is controlling the game from the centre for the Adelaide Crows. Attempted kick off the ground by Pickering. Bickley, handball a little too high there for Hocking. Picked up by Underwood. Kicks it to half forward. There's a good mark. Taken by Gale.
Good mark.
Leeds coming from the two big men, Honeybun and Hogg. Kick is short. Good mark, Filkey. And Filkey has the football at centre half back for the Crows. And a 50-metre penalty is being applied here. And it'll take the ball well nearly into the centre. Yes, it is. Right up to the centre circle. So Grant Filkey will put the Adelaide side into attack. The kick to centre half forward. Punched away there by Bannock. Chance now for that player to gather. He does. The kick is smothered. comes across the 50-metre line. Marshall's an opportunity now, a little too slow, shrugs the tackle, tries to get the ball back to McDermott. He could nearly be penalised, and he's going to be right in front of the Richmond very, very strong supporters area near the players' race, and the free kick to be taken by Campbell.
That was a bit tough. Kicks to centre wing. Now that's a strong mark taken by Maynard. Maynard on left centre wing to Marshall. Very tidy player. Marshall kicks inside 50. Hocking couldn't quite pick it up. It was Jamison ultimately. Klug. Lindner off the ground, but it barely scrapes in for a behind. So Bruce Lindner, what are you having down for? 1-3, Robbo, is it?
Now, yeah.
3-4 to 4-5. Golden opportunity missed there by the Crows. Lindner was in the clear. Turner would kick in. Just looking back, free is once again standing Jarman. So that's an interesting matchup. And what we said before is that Jarman was on top. Lee, it's taken out of it beautifully by Lambert, and the ball is also out. And it will be thrown in about 60 metres from the Adelaide goal. Only 7 goals kicked so far in the match. Goals pretty hard to come by, predictably. Very similar to the conditions at Football Park last weekend, but it rained continually. Hocking off the ground and gets shirt-fronted for his trouble. Ball still there to be won. Hand pass comes back to Klug. Long hand pass to Hodges for his second. Not with that kick.
Man out of form, isn't he? Scott Hodges.
One behind only.
It was a great handball coming from Klug.
4-6 to 3-4.
Plenty of time to steady then, Hodges. But his confidence will come. He'll be able to drill a few of those.
So Turner, again to bring the ball back into play, favours the member stand side with the kick. Ball knocked down by Micken. Powell came reeling out of the pack. Micken off the ground. Campbell does the shepherding for Lambert, who has had a fairly quiet day, at least by his standards. Successfully gets the ball low to Wakeman ultimately. Hart blocks the tackle, or indeed tries to. Picked up by Campbell. Kicks up towards centre wing. Hocking gets flattened. Nothing for that. The umpire calls play on, and Justin Pickering will do just that.
Tell you what, if I backed for Adelaide, I'd be crook on that. Eddie Hocking. Brendan Gale now. Kick towards full forward. Marking contest. Honeybun punched away by Hughes. Hughes receives from Jarman. Jarman still doing very well. The architect in the centre. McGuinness and Lambert. They've had a good contest, and Lambert's kept Tony McGuinness out of it pretty well. Ball kicked wildly out to the wing. Gathered beautifully by Nichols. He's got plenty of time to sum it up. The pass is okay, and the mark is taken by Underwood. Slips over. Centre wing position. Tigers badly need a goal. Kick towards the half forward, and the mark taken by Ryan. Ryan's kick, and a good mark, Gale. He's handling this ball as though it was dry.
Took a good chest mark earlier, running on a fly to the ball. And that time, an overhead mark, although the pressure really just wasn't there. You could see there Bickley trying to get up, just not quite tall enough. But he's taken 6 marks. You've got a centre-half forward who's firing. It really does help the team.
A Gale from 40 metres. His kick is not too bad, but it just drifts across the face and through for one behind. So Brendan Gale, that's his only score so far. 3-5, plays 4-6. The Crows lead by 7 points.
Hughes kicks in. Grant Filkey takes the mark. Goes over the top with the hand pass to Lee. Came off okay in the end, as the ball was kicked away by Abernathy.
Could have marked it for him free.
Just back towards the boundary line. Kept in play by Campbell. Ooh. Is that out on the full? It is out on the full.
Certainly was, yes. Gee, it was a bit
Naish. A real up and under kick that one. Only travels about 25 metres. Not a good effort. Pickering overruns it. Wakeman tries to give it to him. Jarman, just about man of the match so far. He's burning. This is Filkey inside the square. Kicks over the outstretched hands of Wakeman. Into space. Ryan should get there first to Richmond. Shepherd of pride behind play by Turner was effective. Knight missed the slippery ball. McGuinness having a quiet day, as Robbo said, matched by Lambert. They've sort of nullified each other, haven't they? Now there's been a dominant player. Powell has it knocked away by Abernathy. Cloak on his own, that traditional one kick behind the play tactic he does so well at. Now Hughes kicks into the man. Pickering. Long shot at goal. That's going pretty close. It's a mammoth kick for 4 points.
And that's Richmond's first goal since the 13-minute mark of the first quarter. So a bit of a drought. Free kick going to Waitman. Put Richmond back into attack, half forward. Oh, another good mark to Brendan Gale.
It's a confident mark.
Could you make a change, Don, if you were Graham Corns?
I'd just wait a little while, because the advantage of Maynard is the fact that he's prepared to run off at centre-half back, and it really puts the pressure on, say, Gale, because he's got to chase him down the ground. Then again, you've got to look for who would you put on him.
He just seems to be a little bit too tall for Rodney Maynard.
He couldn't put Hughes on. Who's at full back? Danny Hughes.
I suppose that's a problem, isn't it? They've got Hogg, Honeybun and Gale, Richmond. And if the ball is markable, well, it causes problems for the defence. Kick by Lambert up to the forward pocket position. Hart jumps over his teammate Smart, and the ball will be thrown in the right forward pocket for the Tigers. They trail by 1 point. A magnificent goal kicked by Justin Pickering a few minutes ago. Naish, oh, it's just touched back there by Smart and hurried over for another boundary throw.
You may be able to put Jamison down there, although he's a goal kicker up the other end. They have tried Maynard up in the forward line. It just didn't work. I think that was against the Sydney Swans, so that's maybe a possibility, but I'll just wait a little while.
Hart to Hocking. To the outer side. Push in the back, was it? Yes. Kilkey will take the free kick.
Crude effort by Nichols.
He's up from right half back. And the ball around centre wing. Float there he is again.
It could have been nearly 50 metres against the Adelaide player there.
Isn't it amazing how this player is surviving in league football?
Well, I was talking to him last night, Scotty, and he was saying he's probably as fit as he's ever been. And the way he's playing today, Smart tries to crash his way through. He's having a great year. Knights. Looking for someone going past. Finds Pickering ultimately. Hogg been fairly quiet. Lack of opportunities. Jarman. Who's playing a great game. Marshall. Really wasted disposal, Jarman. Marshall on his own defensive 50-metre line. Kicks into space at left half forward. No one home really. Bannock. And that's out of bounds. In front of he and Linda. And also Michael Pickering. Almost left half forward flank for Adelaide. As the clock ticks down to half time, we've got under 5 minutes now remaining in the half. Micken gets the front position. Hocking went through, didn't take the ball with him, and once again it's counted out of bounds, so possibly the Crows gaining some 3 metres. As Campbell's the last to get up from that contest.
And Tony McGuinness has only had 2 possessions so far in this match.
How many has Lambert had? You said he was marking him.
Lambert's had 7, 3 kicks and 4 hand passes.
He hasn't been the dominant player that he usually is either. They have nullified each other, haven't they, really? This is Lee. Kicks from a standing start. Inside 50, Turner, Ryan. Ryan lopes after it. Filkey and Nichols. Oh, he's almost lying on it. That could have been close to a free kick. The umpire elects to let it go. Hand pass comes out to McGuinness, to McDermott. Now Trent Nichols this time. Away to Ryan. He'll have to be quick. Hodges is right on his hammer. Naish was very dangerous close to goal, but he won't get a chance this time as the ball beats he and also Bickley over the line.
Had it been a dry day, he would have trapped that ball, but as soon as it hit that slippery turf, it took off at 1,000,000 miles an hour. There's just no way known that Naish could have stopped it.
Kevin Bartlett and Michael Green in the Richmond coach's box as Gale does the ruck work. Lee at the back for the Crows. Kicks the ball back in towards the centre. Nearly a good effort there by Free, and that was throwing the ball against Tony Free. Fair enough. And umpire Brendan Carlin in a great position to pick up that misdemeanour by the Richmond player. Free kick to be taken by Klug. Kicks the ball in towards full forward. Richmond getting back. Oh, no talking there. Goal could be from Jamison. No, he tries for Hodges. No! Oh, comedy there between the two of them. And eventually all they can get out of it is a rushed behind. So the difference is 2 points in favour of Adelaide. 3 minutes left in the second quarter. And the kick in comes to the members' side. And nearly a mark to Micken. Attempted kick off the ground by Underwood. Cloak is underneath it all, tries to tap it on. Hocking there for the Crows, and eventually the umpire will be forced to throw the ball in the air. Equally as difficult for the umpires, I'm sure, as the winter closes in here in Melbourne, and certainly over in Adelaide and Perth for that matter. The kick from Hocking goes up towards full forward. Chance now for Hart. Hart's kick across his body. Oh, it may even bounce through. No, Turner got back to guard the goal pretty well in the finish, and the bounce went to the right and through for a behind to Adelaide.
They're getting plenty of opportunities up there, Robbo. They just can't convert.
That's true. Richmond have gone forward once and got the great goal through Justin Pickering.
It was a great goal, and his brother's got the ball now. Kicks to half-back. We're actually closer to the centre wing. Two number 25s again. Mickett and Gale clash. There's going to be a Crows free kick, and it's going to be taken out there by Maynard. Kick drops a little bit short. Waitman reads it better than anybody. Oh, surely would get a free kick for that, wouldn't he? Well, umpires let it go. Ryan slaps the ball out. Good tackle applied by Hart. He's real wet with the football, this. Richmond in the space at half forward. There he got dragged down rather nastily. Now this is Campbell. Well, the idea was right, a centering kick, but it goes straight to Abernethy. It was barely the required distance. The umpire says OK, and Abernethy decides to play on. Gets it over to Filkey. Filkey from the left half-back flank. Oh, now Marshall, there's nobody within 40 metres. He can go long. Not a well-directed kick into the forward pocket at Hodges, who just keeps it in play, and the ball over the boundary line, coming from the boot of Ryan.
Just going back to the Waitman free kick, Don, did you think that was a kick to him over there on the outer wing?
I thought it was a free kick, and just looking at Dale Waitman's on the outer wing there, he's going back into the forward pocket. He is not too good at all. Hands down on knees.
Naish, like a groin injury, perhaps. You got a mark?
Yep.
Umpire says yes to Campbell. And Lambert. Oh, beautiful pass to Hogg. That was tremendous disposal. There wasn't much Smart could have done about that. And so Jeff Hogg, who hasn't had that many kicks this afternoon, only his fourth coming up, he's already kicked one goal, and that is Dale Waitman, looking anything but well. And he's not going to get a goal with that kick either, I'd suggest.
Disappointing full forward, isn't he, Jeff Hogg? Promises a lot and has promised a lot over the years. Just hasn't managed to deliver.
Once again, the difference, 2 points. Oh, gee, was that touched? Don't think it was. Very poor effort. So free kick is going to Hogg again. And trying to tell the umpire that he touched it, but he wasn't wearing it. Maybe too far out to score. He's standing right on the 50-metre line. And the ball now would be pretty heavy. Siren due to go. They need a mark here, Richmond. They don't get one. And so at half-time, it's 2 points in favour of Adelaide after at quarter-time Richmond led by 1 point. The Crows 4-8, the Tigers 4-6 at the MCG.
Less than a kick in it at half-time, and that was the situation at quarter-time. Richmond by a point at the first change, and Adelaide by 2 points at the main change.